So Dale's piece, Bloomington Banquet, is in the process of being installed, and we'll have the ribbon cutting dedication later on this week. But other project, BEAD has been involved in other public art projects as well. We've done 2 partnerships with the Bloomington Area Arts Council where we've done murals on traffic boxes downtown to sort of help enliven sort of a mundane part of our urban infrastructure that we don't really even think about that's there until we've got some great artwork for some great artists, and it's like, whoa, I didn't even know that's there. How fabulous is that? So we have 6 now. We're in the process now of having 6 additional ones. We've partnered on several sculptures. We have a couple of sculptures that have been donated to the city. We've commissioned some murals and worked in partnership with murals. So we've seen an explosion really in the last 2 years, and the Beeline is, of course, the major beneficiary of that, as it should be. Of that, but that is something that I see as a role for BEAD, going forward in continuing to sort of support partnerships to produce public art.
And we've encouraged too, again, outside of the Percentage for the Arts program, sort of public art that's on private spaces. You might think of the Bloomington Playwrights Project mural. Miah worked with them through BEAD and assisted them with that mural project. So we're able to sort of seed private investment in public art as well.
And those are things that transform the look of a community. You drive into the downtown, you see these public art pieces, you see, and you understand, for me anyway, you drive in and you take a look at all these pieces that some of them I like, others I don't like everybody else, but you appreciate that this is a community that people want to be in, and that's, to me, that's what that says, that we have made an investment in beautifying the downtown and giving it a very distinct flavor, and it's a place that people want to be. Let's talk about the Beeline piece, the Dale Enoch's piece, because that's been a long time in the making,
That it has.
And it's an exciting project. And we're going to have the dedication, the ribbon cutting on unveiling on this week on Thursday. So let's talk a little bit about that. How did that come about? How did we end up selecting Dale's piece? And who was involved with that process? And what can people expect to see when they come out there and see the piece?
This is a project that I think predates me. I think when the team with public input were putting together the design for the Beeline Trail, there was a place that was identified for what they called a signature sculpture there at the Farmers Market Plaza right behind City Hall. And so when I arrived at the city, one of the first tasks I was given was to begin the public process to commission a piece of public art. And this is a Percentage for the Arts project, so there's a prescribed process that goes through. And how we do it is we do a call. First, we had to identify sort of the basic parameters of what we were looking for, what our budget was. First thing, that's the most important thing. And then the legislation that defines Percentage for the Arts really prescribes the process, and so we just sort of followed it step by step. But we did a call for artists, and it was open to artists in the region. We felt like it was important to select an artist from our immediate region. The piece out front, Bloomington Waters, was done by an artist in Texas, and although it's a great piece and we love it, we felt like this was an opportunity to give a regional artist a real opportunity to shine, and so we wanted to focus that regionally. So that was open to regional artists. We had a special committee that was designated by the Bloomington Community Arts Commission, which is actually a city commission for whose responsibility Percentage for the Arts falls. They selected a 5-member committee of community members, artists, public art administrators, and so forth, who administered the process essentially for the commission. They selected a 5-person jury, which included representatives from the city, the architectural community, the public art community, as well as several artists themselves. And we received a certain number of submissions. I think it was 18 or 19 submissions. Some of them were some of them were team submissions. In other words, there were more than one artist. And the jury reviewed those, selected the top 3, and then those 3 top artists were asked to put together a final proposal for presentation at a public meeting, and they presented their renderings and their maquettes, which are models, and their budget and so forth. And then the jury ranked those. They passed them on to the commission, who then ranked them. Then they passed them on to the new projects committee, who ranked them, and then the final selection was made. And it was unanimous down the line that Dale's proposal was the one that was right for the community, for the project, for the space. There are a lot of factors you have to look at when you make a selection. What's right for the space? Right. What's the scale? What's the material? How will it fit in the landscape? How, limestone. We didn't designate a material. We felt limestone. Dale's piece is limestone. We felt like that, obviously that's our heritage, part of our heritage. Felt like that was a good fit. The piece, actually, if you haven't seen it, images of it, it is essentially a table and chairs. And that is a nod to the Showers Brothers Furniture Company, where City Hall is located, which was at one time the world's largest furniture manufacturing company.
It's a very big table.
Yeah, it's a very large table and chairs. Yes, the piece from top to bottom is 23 feet tall. The table, I think, is around 15 feet tall at its highest point, and you can walk underneath it. The chairs are about 12 feet tall. The seat, I think, is 7 or 8 feet off the ground, and they are intricately carved in places, and there are little icons that represent Bloomington, sort of woven into the carving there. And then on top of the table is a bowl with steam coming out of it, with a replica of our courthouse fish on sort of a weather vane that spins. And then what's a table without tableware? There's tableware on the top. And when I talked to Dale about sort of what the genesis was, what his thinking was, and when he designed the piece, the idea, and the piece is called Bloomington Banquet, so the idea behind the piece is not only a nod to our sort of furniture making tradition in Showers Brothers, but the piece is sited right by the farmer's market that feeds a lot of people. The table is a gathering place for a lot of different cultures. It's the idea that we are a gathering place in Bloomington of a lot of different cultures. We are a welcoming place. One of the chairs is actually sort of turned toward the viewer with the idea of beckoning you to come in. And it's a community that feeds us in a lot of different ways, with our arts and cultural opportunities, with our large number of social service agencies, with our high amount of volunteerism. It's a piece that works on a lot of different levels. Plus, it's just fun to look at.
And Dale's one of those, I mean, for me anyway, it's a great fit because Dale is one of those gems. I mean, he's one of those locals that has had an incredible amount of success in what he does. And,
absolutely.
I mean, so that, from that perspective, it's a lot of fun. But that's not the only arts piece. It's the signature piece, but that's not the only arts piece. We've got others that have been installed.
Right.
And what are some of the others that have been installed?
Yeah, I think Miah mentioned earlier we have some pieces that are donated along the Beeline Trail, and one is, I'm going to forget the name of it, but
Dancing Spirit.
Dancing Spirit, which,
Mark Wallace
which is a Mark Wallace sculpture, actually donated to the city by Sam and Vicki Bassman. In memory of Evan Farrell, who was a local musician who died last year. So that's a fantastic piece, and another nod to our local music heritage. And then one which was donated to us or sponsored by Irwin Union, which is called
Figured Bass.
Figured Bass.
It's a limestone music stand, and it's sited in such a way that you could actually see the Smith Holden sheet of music mural. But the idea, again, is a nod to our great music community, the idea that it's a place where a musician can just randomly play if they want. It's sited in a nice plaza area there, an opportunity to encourage musical performance, which, of course, Bloomington is a lot about.
And then there's Animal Island. People see Animal Island, they wonder what that's all about.
Piece is, and that's
really
a
interesting
project that we sponsored or produced in partnership with Stonebelt's Art and Craft Initiative. What we wanted to do, and what we continually want to do, again, is advocate for the idea of the arts as art and artists as people of business. That to be an artist is as respected a business profession as anything else you might envision. And in doing that, we wanted to put out the idea or reinforce the idea that we have a lot of different kinds of people creating art. And Stonebelt is an organization that works with adults with disabilities, and they have an art and craft program where they have their clients produce a variety of artistic products that they wholesale to galleries and retail stores nationwide. And we wanted to give them a showcase to show us their stuff and put it out there for the community to enjoy. And so that actually